Hey everybody, Jeremy here with Favorites Barbecue. Glad to be back with you all today. I'm really excited to go over my creamy mac and cheese recipe with you all today. It's outstanding. What I'm going to go over today is a real basic recipe that'll give you some of the creamiest mac and cheese that you ever had. But the key here is I want you to take it and make it your own. You can add a lot of different things to this. You can add peppers, you can add sauces, you can add meat, anything you want to it. So I can't wait to see y'all's creativity. Let's get this thing started. The first thing that we're gonna do, we're gonna get a pot of water boiling. Take your elbow macaroni noodles, dump them in there, get them nice and soft. So we're gonna let those get nice and soft in there, let those things cook in there for a little while. Let them get nice and tender. We're gonna let those cook as we get everything else rolling here. So today I'm cooking with my Lancaster number 8 cast iron skillet. Be outstanding mac and cheese skillet. I've let it get hot here. And I'm gonna start off with a little bit of butter. I'm gonna make my roux. So I'm gonna add 4 tablespoons of butter, which is about a half a stick of butter. I'll let it go. And as it's melting, right, I'll take my whisk and move it around. Nice and hot. You don't want to get it too hot when you're using butter because butter will burn. It has a relatively low burn point. So let that melt there. And then I'm going to take 2 tablespoons of your basic flour. I'm going to put that in. We're going to take it and then we're going to whisk that in here until it gets nice and smooth. Oh, turn the heat down just a little bit. We're a little warm in our skillet right now. Again, you don't want to get too hot because when you cook things too hot too fast, it's a recipe for disaster. It burns. There we go. Now that is nice and smooth. That cast iron skillet gives it a little bit of a brownish look because of the seasonings in the skillet, which is outstanding. That's what we're looking for. Then I'm going to take 2 cups of milk. I'm going to slowly whisk this in. You can hear it. Slowly whisk this in. I still have about another cup I need to add, but I need to turn the heat down on this bad boy. Those cast iron skillets can get hot. Real hot, and that's the benefit of them. You see the steam coming off of that milk. Ooh, nice and creamy. Add a little bit more milk in here. I'm adding about 2 cups here. Because we want this mac and cheese to be the creamiest mac and cheese you've ever had. All right, we can see that this sauce is starting to thicken up a little bit. Now what we're gonna do, we're gonna start adding our cheeses. The first one we're gonna add is a real basic cream cheese. What I wanna do with my cream cheese is I wanna make sure it's soft. And I wanna break it up into little pieces with my hands here and just slowly put it in, spread it out. The reason why you wanna split up your cream cheese like this is because it doesn't melt as smoothly and as quickly as your typical shredded cheese or a cheddar cheese, whatever that may be. So you want to make sure that you break up in little pieces to allow it to consistently melt throughout your cream sauce here. So take that, let that get hot, let it melt, and then we're going to add our second cheese, which is just our fresh shredded cheddar cheese. So it's gonna be outstanding. But we're gonna add the cheddar cheese after we get this cream cheese broken down here in our sauce. Our noodles here are finished. So I went ahead and I strained them. So those noodles are waiting to come into the sauce here. Man, this is getting real creamy. It's looking outstanding. All right, so now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take about a cup of my freshly grated cheddar cheese. Just kind of put it in there. All right, just about a cup of it. I mean, you know how I measure things out. Looks about right. Add that in. Let that all mix in nicely. Get nice and creamy. Oh yeah, this is what I'm talking about. Looking great right now. Okay, there we go. Get nice and melted up. And then what I'm gonna do, add a little bit of our blue. Boom, coming at you. Take a little bit, we're gonna add about a tablespoon here. Let me measure that out nice and precisely for you. Pow, 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 pow. There we go. Again, a little bit of our blue. www.favoritesbbq.com. Mix that in. Yeah, looking good. It smells even better. Can't wait for y'all to try this. And I can't wait to see the creations that y'all come up with. Adding your own ingredients. Again, featuring our blue. We put our red in here as well. It's outstanding. But I can't wait to see the other things that you guys put in here. I've done chopped jalapenos, poblano peppers. I've done different various types of meats in this recipe. Just outstanding base recipe for your mac and cheese. So now what we're gonna do, we're gonna take our noodles and we're slowly gonna add them in here. I always cook a little bit more noodles than I need. You probably need to weigh your noodles out to be about 12 ounces by weight. I'm gonna go ahead and reduce my heat all the way to a low here. Oh man, this is looking so creamy. Just kind of mixing it in. I don't know why I'm using a whisk, it's just in my hands, but it's getting the job done, and that's what it's all about. All right, so we grab this wooden spatula and get back to work. Let's add a little bit more noodles here. There we go. Oh, nice and creamy, outstanding base recipe for mac and cheese. Done in our cast iron, our Lancaster cast iron. This is outstanding. So to top it off, we want to make sure that it's nice and even. Man, this is really creamy. Looking really good. We're gonna top it off with some fresh grated cheddar cheese and let that melt right on top here in our Lancaster cast iron skillet. Let's get it as cheesy as we want it. That's up to you. I like mine really cheesy. Again, the creamiest mac and cheese you've ever eaten. favoritesbbq.com. There we go. Let's get that out of the way. Let's get this nice and evenly laid out here. All right. We're gonna let that cheese melt. We're gonna let it come to a melt right there on top. If you want to, you can put it in the oven at this point to allow that cheese to come to more of a brown on top, but I like mine just melted. Outstanding. All right, I can't wait for you guys to try this.